Chosen one, listen carefully, this message you about to hear. The moment everything collapsed. Nothing broke by accident. Nothing disappeared without reason. What you call loss was the first sign of selection. When your life collapsed, it was not punishment, it was preparation. You were never meant to carry the old version of yourself into the next realm. The invisible dividing line. There comes a moment when the soul crosses a line the mind cannot explain. After that moment, nothing fits anymore. People feel distant, places feel heavy. You sense it before you understand it. That is the mark of awakening. Why your old life could not follow. Your old life was built for a smaller version of you. Old habits, old beliefs, old attachments. They were useful once, but they became chains. What is chosen cannot stay confined. So everything that could not expand had to fall away. The chosen ONESR, always misunderstood. Chosen ones are rarely celebrated at first. They are questioned, mocked, isolated. Because they see what others refuse to face. They speak truths that make comfort crumble. And society always resists what exposes illusion. The awakening feels like death before life. Awakening is not gentle. It feels like losing yourself before finding yourself. Your identity dissolves, your certainty disappears. You grieve a life that no longer exists. But this death is sacred, it makes space for truth. SIGNS, you were never meant to be ordinary. You always felt different, even as a child. You questioned rules that others followed blindly. You sensed deeper meaning behind simple moments. You felt called toward purpose, not popularity. These were not coincidences, they were signals. Why people turn against you. When you awaken, you become a mirror. And not everyone likes what they see reflected. Your growth exposes stagnation. Your clarity threatens confusion. So resistance becomes their defense. The silent war against your soul. You were discouraged when you tried to rise. Distracted when you sought truth. Delayed when you were ready to move forward. This was not random chaos. It was resistance against your becoming. Isolation is part of the process. Chosen ones walk alone before they walk aligned. Solitude sharpens vision. Silence strengthens intuition. Loneliness teaches self-trust. You were separated so you could hear your calling clearly. You were stripped to be rebuilt. Everything unnecessary was removed. Not to break you, but to refine you. What remains is your essence. Your strength, your faith. Your alignment with divine purpose. This is where most turn back. Many reach this point and retreat. They rebuild the old life out of fear. They choose comfort over calling. But you are still here. That means your soul refuses to shrink. The burden of seeing too much. Awareness is heavy before it is empowering. You notice patterns others ignore. You feel energies others dismiss. You sense consequences before actions unfold. This weight is not a curse, it is responsibility. Why your path feels lonely. Mass paths lead to noise. Chosen paths lead to clarity. Few can walk where distractions cannot survive. Few are willing to release illusions. That is why your road feels narrow. You were never abandoned. Even in your darkest moments, guidance remained. Protection operated unseen. Delays were divine timing. Silence was instruction. You were always being led. The moment you stopped fitting in, that was the moment you started aligning. Fitting in was never your destiny. You were designed to stand apart, to disrupt cycles, to awaken others by example. Pain was your teacher. Comfort teaches nothing. Pain refined your discernment. Loss sharpened your priorities. Confusion strengthened your faith. Every wound carried wisdom. Why your heart feels heavy but clear. You no longer chase empty validation. You no longer tolerate false connections. You no longer fear being alone. Your heart became selective. That is growth. You are entering a new season. A season of alignment. A season of purpose. A season where effort meets support. Where clarity replaces chaos. Where strength replaces survival. The power you did not know you had. You endured what should have destroyed you. You survived what was meant to stop you. You adapted when escape was impossible. That resilience is not normal. It is chosen strength. This message found you for a reason. You did not stumble here accidentally. Timing is never random for the awakened. Your spirit recognized this truth. That recognition is confirmation. You are exactly where you need to be. Stop mourning the old version of you. That version completed its mission. Honor it, then release it. You are not becoming less. You are becoming true. And truth always demands sacrifice. Your future requires courage. Not perfection. Not approval. But courage to continue. Courage to trust. Courage to rise. Embrace your awakening. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not alone. You are awakening. And awakening changes everything. This is your call to rise. Stand firm in who you are becoming. Do not shrink to fit old spaces. Do not explain your purpose to the blind. Walk forward with faith. Your journey has only just begun. If this message spoke to your soul, do not ignore that feeling. Like this video to affirm your awakening. Comment your experience so others know they are not alone. Subscribe to Return to Awakening and stay connected to the truth that was always meant to find you when everything went silent. There was a phase when answers stopped coming. No signs, no reassurance, no voices. Only silence and waiting. That silence was not absence. It was training. The test of trust. You were asked to walk without guarantees. To move without validation. To believe without evidence. This is where faith is forged. Not in miracles, but in perseverance. Why nothing worked anymore. Old strategies failed. Old prayers felt heavy. Old efforts brought no results. Because you were meant to stop forcing outcomes and start aligning intention. The discomfort of truth. Truth disrupts comfort. It challenges identity. It questions motives. It demands honesty. That discomfort means you are shedding illusion. You began to see through people. Words stopped matching actions. Smiles hid intentions. Promises felt empty. You noticed energy before language. That awareness is irreversible. Why you couldn't go back. Even when you tried, it felt wrong. Old environments drained you instantly. Old conversations felt hollow. Your soul rejected what your mind tried to accept. That is alignment asserting itself. The price of clarity. Clarity costs relationships. Clarity costs comfort. Clarity costs familiarity. But confusion costs destiny. You chose the higher price. You were being watched by the unseen. Every decision mattered more than you knew. Every restraint was noted. Every time you chose patience over reaction. Every time you chose principle over impulse. Character was being built quietly. The difference between escape and elevation. Escape avoids pain. Elevation transforms it. You did not numb yourself. You did not run. You endured and learned. Why time felt slow. Growth cannot be rushed. Foundation must be solid. Timing must align. You were not delayed. You were being protected from premature exposure. The burden of potential. Knowing you are meant for more is heavy. Seeing beyond your current reality is painful. Holding vision while lacking resources tests patience. But potential is a promise, not a tease. It unfolds when preparation meets timing. You started chosing peace over proving. You stopped explaining yourself. Stopped arguing with misunderstanding. Stopped chasing acknowledgement. Peace became more valuable than being right. That is maturity. The refinement of intentions. Your motives were purified. Ego was confronted. Pride was humbled. Your desire shifted from recognition to service. That shift is crucial. Why you felt out of place everywhere. You were between versions. No longer who you were. Not yet who you are becoming. Transitions feel uncomfortable. But they are temporary. The strength you built in private. No one saw your inner battles. No one applauded your restraint. No one noticed your discipline. But private victories shape public destiny. And yours were many. You learned to listen inward. External noise lost authority. Opinions lost power. Intuition grew stronger. Discernment became natural. You learned where true guidance comes from. Why your heart became selective. Not everyone deserves access. Not every connection is aligned. Energy is currency. You learn to invest it wisely. That discernment protects your path. The separation was mercy. Some people were removed to save you. Some doors closed to redirect you. Some losses prevented greater damage. What felt harsh was actually protection. You will understand later. You stopped seeking applause. Validation lost its grip. You became comfortable being unseen. Consistency replaced excitement. Depth replaced attention. This is how real influence is built. The shift from survival to awareness. You stopped reacting. Started observing. Started choosing responses. Awareness replaced chaos. Control replaced panic. Why you feel stronger now? Because you faced yourself. Because you took responsibility. Because you stopped blaming circumstances. Inner strength always follows accountability. And you earned it. This is not the end of the process. Awakening is layered. Growth is continuous. Understanding deepens with time. What you know now is preparation. More clarity is coming. You are standing at the threshold. Not rushing. Not retreating. Just aware. Just ready. Just aligned. The old life is already gone. There is nothing to retrieve. Nothing to repair. Nothing to mourn anymore. It served its purpose. Release is freedom. Your soul is calm for a reason. Even without answers. Even without certainty. Even without proof. Calm is confirmation. It means you are aligned. What comes next requires presence. Not haste. Not fear. But awareness in every step. The path reveals itself as you walk. And you are walking it now. Stay here in this moment. Do not rush ahead. Do not revisit the past. Remain present. This phase is sacred. And it is shaping what comes next, the quiet confidence forming inside you. You no longer need constant reassurance. You no longer panic at uncertainty. There is a calm strength settling within. Not loud, not aggressive, but unshakable. Why triggers lost their power? What once provoked reactions now reveals lessons. You observe instead of exploding. You pause instead of defending. Control replaced impulse. That is mastery over self. The shift from seeking to attracting. You stopped chasing outcomes, stopped forcing alignment, stopped begging for doors to open. Now what is meant for you moves toward you. That is the law of alignment. You no longer fear being misunderstood. Clarity made approval unnecessary. You understand your path. Others do not need to. Conviction replaced explanation. And peace followed. The invisible armor you wear. Not bitterness, not walls, but discernment. You allow less access, and that protects your energy. Why your DSRS changed. Surface once lost appeal. Depth became attractive. Purpose outweighed pleasure. Meaning replaced distraction. That evolution is irreversible. The test of patience continues. Timing still asks for restraint. Impulse still tempts action. But wisdom whispers wait. Patience is not delay. It is alignment with the unseen. You began trusting process over emotion. Feelings fluctuate. Process remains steady. You stopped letting moods dictate movement. Discipline replaced motivation. That is growth. The subtle detachment from outcomes. You give effort without obsession. You release control without apathy. You care without clinging. Detachment brought freedom. And clarity followed. Why your presence feels different. People sense your stillness. Your words carry weight. Your silence speaks louder. You are grounded. And grounding changes energy. The inner dialogue changed. Self-criticism softened. Compassion replaced judgment. You speak to yourself with patience. That inner relationship healed. And strength grew from it. You stopped chasing quick fixes. Shortcuts lost appeal. Instant gratification felt empty. You committed to depth, to consistency, to long-term alignment, the ability to stand alone. You are comfortable without noise, without validation, without distraction. Solitude no longer scares you. It strengthens you. Why confusion no longer dominates? You accept what you do not yet understand. You trust what is unfolding. You stopped demanding certainty. Peace replaced anxiety. Because trust matured. The difference between intuition and fear. Fear rushes. Intuition is calm. You learn to tell them apart. That discernment guides decisions and prevents regret. You no longer resent the past. Gratitude replaced bitterness. Lessons replaced blame. You extracted wisdom from pain. The past no longer controls you. It informs you. Why you move differently now. With intention. With awareness. With purpose. You are no longer reactive. You are responsive. The quiet separation continues. Some connections fade naturally. No conflict. No drama. Just divergence. That is alignment at work. You learned when to speak and when to be silent. Not every truth needs announcing. Not every insight needs defending. Silence became strategy. Timing became wisdom. That restraint is power. The energy you protect is sacred. You guard your time, your focus, your peace, because you understand its value. And you respect yourself now. Why you no longer feel lost. Direction replaced desperation. Awareness replaced confusion. You may not see the entire path, but you trust the next step. And that is enough. The stillness before expansion. This calm is not stagnation. It is preparation. The pause before momentum. The breath before movement. Something is forming. You are becoming unrecognizable. not to yourself, but to the past, to old patterns, to former limitations. Transformation is underway. The journey continues inward. External changes will follow, but inner alignment leads. You are anchored within, and anchored souls do not drift. They move with purpose. Remain present in this state. Do not rush emergence. Do not announce arrival. Let integration complete. This phase is sacred, and it is almost complete. The moment you realized you were different. Not better, not above, just different in awareness. You noticed depth where others skimmed the surface. That realization changed how you saw everything. Why small talk started feeling heavy. Surface conversations drained you. Repetition felt empty. You craved meaning, not noise. This was not arrogance. It was alignment with depth. The inner fire that never went out. Even in exhaustion, something burned quietly. Even in doubt, something pushed forward. A knowing without explanation. That fire is purpose, and it does not extinguish. You stopped RSSTNG chain. Fighting endings exhausted you. Accepting transitions freed you. You learned to let cycles close. Resistance softened into trust. That surrender brought clarity. Why your standards rose. You tolerate less confusion, less inconsistency, less misalignment. Not because you hardened, but because you healed. The weight of responsibility you feel. Awareness brings accountability. You know your choices matter. Your actions ripple outward. This responsibility feels heavy, but it is earned. You no longer envy other paths. Comparison lost its grip. You respect different journeys, but you honor your own. Your path fits your soul, and that is enough. The discipline that formed quietly. No applause accompanied your consistency. No one noticed your restraint. But habits formed. Character strengthened. Discipline became natural. Why you value truth over comfort. Comfort numbs growth. Truth sharpens awareness. You chose honesty with yourself, even when it hurt. That courage reshaped you. You became your own anchor. You stopped depending on circumstances. Stopped leaning on unstable foundations. You grounded yourself internally. Stability became internal. And that changed everything. The way you handle SCTBACKS now. You do not collapse. You do not dramatize. You assess. You adjust. You continue. Why your faith feels different. It is quieter now. Deeper. Less performative. More personal. Rooted in experience, not words. You began seeing DELAYS as signals. Not punishment. Not denial. But redirection. Timing revealed wisdom. Patience revealed protection. The end of seeking external permission. You stopped waiting to be chosen. You stopped asking for approval. You accepted responsibility for your path. Self-authorization replaced hesitation. And momentum followed. Why you feel called but unannounced. Purpose does not rush. It matures quietly. You are being prepared, not displayed. Depth before exposure. Foundation before expansion. The internal order that emerged. Chaos no longer controls you. Priorities clarified. Values aligned. Your inner world organized itself. And peace followed. You learned to trust small steps. Not dramatic leaps. Not reckless moves. But consistent progress. Small steps compound. And they lead far. Why you no longer argue with resistance. You recognize it as fear, as misunderstanding, as projection. You conserve energy. Silence became strategy again. The strength of self-respect. You honor your limits. You respect your energy. You protect your focus. Self-respect replaced self-sacrifice. And balance returned. You feel the approach of change. Not chaos, not collapse, but shift. A quiet turning of tides. Something is aligning again. The difference between waiting and prepring. You are not idle. You are refining, sharpening awareness, strengthening discipline. Preparation is active. Why your intuition is louder than fear now. Fear still whispers, but intuition speaks clearly. You recognize the difference. You trust the calm voice, and you follow it. The identity that no longer fits. You outgrew labels, outgrew expectations, outgrew limitations. You are undefined again. And that is powerful. The journey is still unavoidable. Nothing is complete yet. Nothing is finished. But nothing is wasted. Every phase integrates wisdom. And you are integrating now, the space you created within. You cleared inner noise, released mental clutter, let go of emotional excess. That space became clarity, and clarity became power. Why you no longer fear the unknown. Uncertainty once triggered anxiety. Now it sparks curiosity. You trust unfolding more than control. Mystery no longer threatens you. It invites growth. The humility that grounded you. Awareness humbled you. You saw how much there is to learn. You stopped pretending certainty. Openness replaced arrogance. That humility expanded wisdom. You stopped identifying with struggle. Pain was a chapter, not an identity. You learned without attaching. You healed without reliving. Struggle no longer defines you. It refined you. Why your voice feels calmer. You do not need volume to be heard. You speak with intention. Words carry weight when chosen carefully. Presence amplifies message. And calm commands attention. The release of old expectations. You let go of timelines, of imagined outcomes, of forced milestones. Life stopped feeling late. It started feeling aligned. You began honoring your rhythm. You no longer rush cycles. You respect seasons of rest. You move when aligned, not when pressured. That rhythm sustains you. Why you trust yourself more now. You kept promises to yourself. You followed through quietly. Consistency built confidence. Trust grew internally. Self-doubt weakened. The subtle authority you carry. Not dominance, not control, but grounded certainty. You stand firm without force. That presence shifts rooms. You no longer chase closure. Understanding replaced explanation. Acceptance replaced confrontation. You closed doors internally. Peace did not require permission. And that freed you. Why old FEARS resurface briefly? Not to stop you, but to test integration. Growth invites review. You notice without engaging. And move forward. The difference between confidence and certainty. Confidence fluctuates. Certainty remains quiet. You no longer perform belief. You live it. That certainty stabilizes you. You learn to wait without tension. No gripping. No forcing. Just readiness. Stillness without stagnation. Awareness without anxiety. Why you feel less attached to identity. Roles feel temporary. Labels feel limiting. You operate from essence, not titles. Freedom expanded. The quiet alignment with purpose. No announcement. No ceremony. Just resonance. Your actions match inner truth. That alignment is unmistakable. You stop measuring progress externally. No comparison. No benchmarks. Internal metrics guide you. Growth feels personal and deeply rooted, while your energy feels cleaner. Less resentment, less obligation, less noise. You released what drained you. Vitality returned. The way you handle praise now. You receive without attachment. You appreciate without dependence. Ego no longer leads. Gratitude replaced craving. Balance remained. You are comfortable with being unseen. Visibility is no longer urgent. Depth matters more than display. You build quietly. Roots grow before branches. This patience is deliberate. Why the past feels distant. Not erased. Integrated. Lessons absorbed. Emotion neutralized. Memory without weight. The inner alignment continues. Small refinements daily. Subtle corrections. Gentle honesty. Alignment is maintained. Not achieved once. You feel steady without explanation. No surge. No crash. Just steadiness. That stability is earned. And it holds you. The path ahead feels clear without DTLS. Direction without map. Trust without timeline. Movement without pressure. You are guided. And you know it, the calm after inner STRMS. You survived emotional turbulence. Not by escaping, but by staying present. The storm passed through you and left wisdom behind. Why you no longer chase certainty. Absolute answers feel unnecessary now. You trust unfolding truth. You accept partial clarity. Life reveals itself in layers. And you are patient with that. The strength of emotional sobriety. You no longer exaggerate pain. You no longer romanticize struggle. You see things as they are. Clear. Grounded. You became comfortable with pause. Not every moment needs action. Not every thought needs response. Pause became intelligence. Stillness became strategy. You learned timing. Why you feel lighter without losing depth. You released emotional excess. Kept meaning. Kept purpose. Lightness did not make you shallow. It made you free. The ability to observe without absorbing. You witness chaos without joining it. You hear opinions without carrying them. Boundaries formed naturally. Empathy without self-sacrifice. That balance protects you. You stopped identifying with REACTONS. Feelings arise. Feelings pass. They no longer define you. You remain centered. And that is stability. Why you trust quiet progress. Loud movement once felt necessary. Now subtle growth feels right. Consistency over intensity. Depth over speed. This pace suits you. The shift from healing to integration. You are no longer fixing wounds. You are embodying lessons. Healing matured into wisdom. Integration replaced effort. You live what you learned. You no longer fear losing people. Those aligned stay. Those misaligned drift. You release without resentment. Trust replaced attachment. And peace followed. Why your presence feels anchored. You are rooted within. External waves do not move you. Stability is internal now. You carry calm with you. And others feel it. The end of inner negotiation. You no longer bargain with truth. You accept what is revealed. Honesty simplified decisions. Clarity reduced conflict. Alignment became easier. You began to move with intentional silence. Not secrecy, not avoidance, but discretion. You protect what is forming and allow it to mature. Why the future does not feel urgent. You trust timing. You trust preparation. Rushing feels unnecessary. Presence feels sufficient. You are exactly where you should be. The way you handle doubt now. You acknowledge it. You do not obey it. Doubt lost authority. Discernment took its place. That is growth. You no longer seek to be understood. Understanding yourself became enough. Misinterpretation no longer threatens identity. You stand rooted. Approval became optional. Freedom followed. The depth of self-respect you built. You honor limits. You honor rest. You honor truth. Self-respect stabilized everything. And confidence followed naturally. Why you feel ready without excitement. No adrenaline. No urgency. Just readiness. Calm preparedness. This readiness is real. The internal order continues to strengthen. Thoughts align faster. Decisions feel cleaner. Conflict resolves quicker. Inner order expands outward. This is momentum. You are no longer afraid of stillness. Stillness reveals clarity. Stillness sharpens awareness. Stillness no longer feels empty. It feels full and intentional. The journey is deepening, not ending. Layers continue to unfold. Understanding continues to mature. Nothing is being rushed. Nothing is being forced. And you remain present within it. The moment you realize this is your time, you are no longer waiting for permission. You are no longer asking for signs. You feel it in your body, in your breath, in your certainty. Why this message is meeting you now. Not yesterday, not later, now, because readiness has arrived, and awareness responds to readiness. You are no longer in preparation mode. Preparation shaped you, refined you, humbled you. Now comes embodiment, living what you have integrated. This is where many still hesitate. They doubt themselves. They look back. They second-guess alignment. But hesitation belongs to the past. You have outgrown it. You were not broken by loss. You were redirected, repositioned, recalibrated. Loss cleared space for what could finally reach you. The world needs grounded souls now. Not loud ones, not reactive ones, but anchored ones. Those who see clearly and move with intention. Your awareness is not accidental. You did not wake up randomly. You did not endure for nothing. Your clarity has purpose. Your stability has impact. Your presence matters. This is where you stand fully in it. No shrinking. No explaining. No retreating. You stand aligned. And alignment is power. If this message resonates, do not ignore it. That recognition is not entertainment. It is confirmation. It is memory awakening. It is truth responding to truth. And it deserves acknowledgement. Step into this with intention. Affirm it by engaging. Like this video if you recognize yourself here. Comment to declare that you are walking this path consciously. Subscribe to return to awakening to stay aligned with messages meant for those who are ready. Do not watch passively, participate intentionally.